Like, Villanova has a big Irish tradition. Like, a lot of Irish athletes in the past had gone there. Sonia O'Sullivan, Ronnie Delaney, Eamon Coughlin, Marcus O'Sullivan, who is the men's coach there and the head coach of track and field. So they do recruit, I think, a lot of Irish in the past and still today. Maybe not as many, but that was kind of one connection. First of all, why I picked Villanova, because I did get recruited by a bunch of other schools, but I only looked at a few, and I only visited Villanova. Then when I went over, I was just like, okay, I think this is gonna challenge me in a way that I don't think athletically I would be challenged as much at home. Luckily for me, it wasn't a huge transition. In high school, I probably ran about 5-6 days a week, just once a day, and I probably did 2 workouts a week and then a longer run on the weekend. So it kind of stayed pretty similar. Still had just 6 days a week of training. We had Saturdays off at Villanova, and then we also had 2 workout days, so Tuesday, Friday. And I increased my mileage a little bit, but it was pretty similar training philosophy that I had done in Ireland with my coach there, that then Marcus and Gina Procaccio also had at Villanova. So it was actually a really smooth transition, and I just probably started doing a little bit more mileage, threw in some double days, just got stronger in terms of aerobic fitness, tempos, that type of stuff. At Villanova, I had some really good, as a freshman and sophomore, I had some really good role models, like juniors and seniors that were on the team. And they were really good at just kind of getting out there, doing the work, and then performing, and they didn't make a big deal about anything. There was no drama. I think the type of competitiveness at Villanova was perfect for transitioning then to the professional stage, because we're all competitive in practice and in races, but we're also working together to kind of work towards the same goals. But when we race each other, obviously we're going to be competitive and race against each other as well. And then also just respecting your competitors and teammates, but also knowing that you're allowed to beat them. I think it was a healthy competitive atmosphere. I think that obviously a lot of people get recruited to go to the United States, and there is this kind of in Ireland, a lot of people say oh, don't go there, you'll get ruined, you'll get run into the ground. But I think it depends on the person and also on the program you choose, because a lot of programs really develop you, and they increase your mileage slowly, or they give you a year or two to kind of get into it. Some programs, obviously, you go in and then all of a sudden you're just a number, or you're just doing 20 more miles a week than you're used to from high school. So I think it does depend, but a lot of Irish people give the US system a bad name, which is unfortunate. I would probably say just actually think about it and give it a chance, in terms of look at your options, and if you're interested, go on a visit. Just because you go on a visit doesn't mean you have to go. You can still stay at home. But I would say go on a visit if you get the offer, and get as much information about the schools as you can, because you can't really make a decision with no information. And it's good to keep an open mind about things, because a lot of the people who had people do have bad experiences, but it's so individualized. So it really just depends on person to person. And if you don't know what you want to study, I think it's a really good idea to go to the US, because you can kind of explore that as well while you're there. So yeah, I would say just keep your options open, keep an open mind, and if you don't like it, you can always come home. But I would always say give it at least a year, because sometimes it just takes a year or a year and a half to even settle in. So I would say just if you do think that you want to try it out, then actually try it out and give it a chance before you just decide it's not what you want to do.